Okay, let's do a quick overview of the Showit platform. So when you log in to Showit, this is the page you will come to. The main area you're always going to go to is the Edit My Website area. So let's click on that one. And because you've only got one design, it will probably jump to something that looks like this. I'll put up the video before this about how to import your template, because then it will look like this. So let's kind of have a little look through what's on the screen. Going from left to right. So over here under site, you've got site settings, which we'll have a video on. This is kind of more for once you've set up your domain and gone live, so you can kind of set your domain here. You can add things like your Google Analytics tag. All things we'll cover later. Design settings, there's a video on where you can set your brand colors, your type styles, so we'll just kind of like shortcuts to make sure they're always the same, but you can change them individually. Anyway, I cover that in another video. Adding fonts, custom fonts, and buttons, how to add your different types of buttons. So that's that section. Media library, if you want to check out the photos and texts and everything that you have uploaded. I never use that, but it is there. And you've got a list of all your pages. So you can see here, home page, about page, pricing guide. So that's all your pages. If you have a blog, once you've set that up, you can see what the blog pages look like and the single post blog page. You've got your 404 page. Site canvases. There's a video to go over that. And canvas sets will go over that. That'll all be set up for you. So that is this panel. If we go into a page, like the About page, if you go to the Page tab up here, that will show you the page in more detail. So this specific About page. So the way that Showit works is, so here's the page here. You've got each of these sections, or what other, I think Squarespace and WordPress probably call them blocks. In Showit, they call it a canvas. I've called them sections here, but they are called canvases in Showit lingo. And inside each, sorry, I'm scrolling all over the place. Inside of each canvas, so you can see this is the things I love section canvas. There are all the parts that make it up. And in Showit lingo, those are called elements. So you've got the images, you can see it selects the appropriate one over here. So click on films, it'll highlight films there. So that's basically how to navigate this side here. Just going to jump back to site for now. Go to the home page. So in the middle, you've got this is your mobile view. And this is your desktop view. Benefit of Showit is that everything's basically click and drag. So if I wanted to move that there, give it a little angle, move that there, move this button down here. And then if I wanted to rearrange the mobile page, I could do that. I could make that there. I could put the button on a little angle. All just click and drag pretty much for everything in Showit. And I'll show later on with editing. Most things are just a case of a double click and you're in and edit. Double click in, edit. Double click the photo. You can choose a new photo. Down the bottom, let's just jump to the fact that I can undo all of those changes. There we go. Nope. So it's undo and redo there. So yes, you can do things separately there. So you've got your desktop setup and you've got your mobile setup. If I change that to just I'm Smith, then it'll update in there. But the the actual placement of things you can do completely separate. So down the bottom here, moving around, actually no, let's move over to the right side. So this is basically I don't know if it has a name, but like it's a dynamic like element options. So if I click on, say, an image, it will come up with the image options, where I can change the image there, give it a title, alt text, size and position you won't need too much. We're not really going through these options now anyway, it's just showing you what each section is. Click actions where you can have them go to different links. And then if I click on text, it will change the text style. So I could choose a different text style. So this section will kind of always change. If I click on a button, I can choose the different button style. So this section lets you more fine tune the elements. Going down to the very bottom left, if you click on your name, you get some of your Showit options. You can look at other site designs if you have any in there, which I imagine most of you will not. You'll just have the first key that you brought in. If you want to make a new design, add a new design to your library, manage account, your subscription, domain names. You can choose between light mode and dark mode, and how kind of packed you want your you want everything to look. Excuse me. Okay, so down here then, so you can see if you want to just look at your mobile option, you can. If you just want to look at your desktop option, you can. If you've got like a small monitor, that might come in more handy. Even though I'm doing pretty much all of this on a 13-inch MacBook Air, I still like looking at both because it's just a way to not forget that if I update something in desktop, making sure that it looks okay in mobile as well. So, excuse me. Back. Okay, so from there, so yes, you can look at desktop, you can look at mobile. I like having it set to both. You can turn on some little options here. If you want, say, column guidelines to help you line things up. I don't really use any of those. Mobile overlay just has a little mobile screen here, which can come in handy, but it's a bit bugged sometimes. It's meant to stay there while you scroll. And here you can change the zoom of anything. So if I click on the desktop side and then I change the zoom to, let's just say zoom in button here, you can zoom in like that if you need to get something pixel perfect. For the most part though, I set that to fit to width and click on the mobile side and make that fit to width and leave it like that. But you can zoom in and out as you need to. And one of the main sections is add element, and this is where you're going to add the different elements. Anything within a canvas is basically an element, so you can add text in here. I'll delete that. You can add in images. Tell you to double click to add an image, just so that's done. This is where you can add your buttons, videos, galleries, go into your media library. Basically anything that you add, if you want to add something to a canvas, that's how you do that. Already got this as your undo and redo buttons. And if you want to get any help, you can look at Showit's help pages, or you can go into their chat and ask them a question, and they are super responsive and super good. They are on American time, but they're great, fantastic support. One of the main reasons why I use them. Up the top here, you've got preview, which you'll probably be using quite a bit, just to have a look at what changes you've made before you publish those changes. So this gives you a local preview of what the desktop will look like. It can be good to have a look at when checking out your animations and making sure things are all working. You can also go down here, you can check out the mobile version and make sure that all looks okay there. Great. And then this address up here, you can click on that, and that will take you to the kind of like internet version or the local version on the internet. So it's still not the published version, but this is where you can have a look at things. You can also send that address, whatever address it gives you, to your friends, and then they could have a look at it. You could send that to your phone, and that way you can have a look at it on your phone or on different phones. And then if you want to publish something, excuse me, if you want to publish, you click on publish, and that will publish any changes, and that will become your live site. Once you have kind of gone ahead and linked up all your domain and everything, which we'll cover. So, as quick as I can, that was basically the Showit platform and where everything is. The basic interface. You also want to be using, should have said this at the start, you want to be using Google Chrome as the as your browser on a computer or laptop to use it. I have recently brought out Safari, the ability to use Safari for it, but I had a look at it this morning and there was a couple of little things I noticed straight away that weren't right. So I would use Google Chrome or a Chromium-based browser. I use Arc, but I think nearly everyone's going to use Google Chrome. So that is basically the Showit platform overview in a nutshell.